Okay, I got you.
We
I
are
got you.
live. Let's see.
We are here. I am
What
so pumped for the
first person
show.
first person to make any kind of noise is Case Edwards. What is up, my man in the YouTube?
What is
give every
up? We
give
are here.
everybody a minute to share. See
Boom. We are there. I have shared. My friend, we have been shared. Cool.
sweet. How you living there, Chase?
Living good, dude. Living good. It's Tuesday. My favorite Tuesday. The every other one is my favorite.
It has become very high up on my list of favorite stuff to do. That's
For
for
sure.
sure.
Mine too.
All right. Well, while we let people share and while we share and while we get this thing started, we're going to drop the intro for them boys. Now, this ain't the one yet. This ain't the one, but it's the one for now. Chad,
All right.
look, Chad, brother, you just got yourself a free Beach RC shirt. And I don't know what Chase wants to do, but shit's coming to you, dude. Thank you very much. We didn't even say anything about that yet, and you are on it. Yes, sir.
Yeah, sound bites. What happened? I don't see anything. Did we
Chad,
get it?
like last 2 weeks ago, just dropped us another hundo towards our intro.
You got to be shitting me.
I am not shitting you. Thank you very much.
Wow. Thanks,
That's
Chad.
sick, and we very much appreciate that. And we appreciate everybody that is tuning in right now and hanging out with us for a couple hours. Just like Chase and I were saying, we have really been enjoying doing this, and I'm pretty sure that it's only going to get better. We keep trying to think of ways to do things. We've got some other stuff we're planning, but we will see. We will see.
Yeah, it definitely can't get worse. So we can only go up. You know what I mean?
Cheers to all those
Che-
having a brew or
Yep. If you're
anything.
having a brew, please comment cheers in the comment section.
I love
Cheers
it.
to the RC world.
Love it. So obviously we've got a lot to talk about. We've got racing that happened over the last couple weeks. We've got Wicked coming up. We've got news. We've got products. We've got beer. So we're gonna say stuff we don't mean or maybe shouldn't say.
Possibly. Story of my
Cheers.
life for sure.
Yeah. So tell me about your day.
Well, my day was I woke up. I found out yesterday that I didn't have to work today, so that was rad. My favorite thing to do is not working, so that was definitely a perk to the day. And shout out to the vendor that does all of in Chino, the vendor that does all of our blocks and is doing some other special stuff for us right now. And also picked up from some tires for Cody and Chad Phillips from Nick from Nick from TZO. So got them some tires since I was in the neighborhood. He lives right around the corner from the vendor. So Cody hit me up and I went and grabbed him some stuff. And now I'm what else did I do? I went and got the brakes done on my van today.
Oh yeah.
That worked. I
Panda,
packaged up some
Panda needed some
racecraft
shoes.
stuff. Yeah, got some orders out, and yeah, now here we are. Did you know the brakes on a 2016 Ford Transit, just for the front rotors and pads, $772?
Wow.
I was like, fuck. Okay.
Wow. Just for the front.
Yeah.
Just for the
Just
front.
for the fronts. Yep.
Wow.
So we got hit with that one today, and I was like, damn, that sucks. But hey, we got to stop.
Yeah, you got to stop. It's part
Got
of
no
it.
choice.
Guys, if you don't mind, make sure you share on Facebook or grab the link from YouTube, share that out to people, whichever way you want to do it. That way we can get this thing up there to the point where the involvement is at an all-time greatness. So, yeah, so my day was a little bit different than that. I really can't go into too much detail on what my day was, but It did entail some stress and also then some manual labor, which is great. I love doing it. I don't get to do it enough. And a haircut and just running ragged. So just getting ready for Wicked. I really wish that whenever I talk to Billy Fisher, he always says, "Man, you just need to clone yourself." And I wish that it was just that simple. It if anyone knows how to clone, I am a perfect candidate and willing to be the test dummy. So help a brother out, put me in the clone machine, whatever you got to do, and I'm here to be your guy. I need another me. My wife probably needs 2 or 3 more of me. I never get enough done or do enough, so we'll see.
Yeah, I'm lucky I got some surprise things to do today because I was stuck on doing installing 2 toilets today at my house, and I got out of that for one more day.
Hey,
Dang, look
Kevin
at
Abbott,
those.
suck it.
Whoa, those are serious, dude.
Yes, sir. We are back and we are
Jeez
ready.
Louise. Look how many
Holy.
lights are in that room. You can see them all in those shades. Look like, are you fucking directing an airport over there or what, dude? Holy cow.
Yeah, man. We
Those
are.
shades are sick.
Thank you. So, funny story. I was telling you offline that we're getting a Five Below in our mall. It's not open yet. However, my wife, as we're walking through, it was we went to this last weekend was her birthday, and so we're walking through the mall because I was trying to get her to try on the shoes she wanted because they don't have the style she wants in town. So we had to order them, but I wanted her to try the size on, make sure that they fit or whatever. And anyway, so we're walking through the mall, and we used to shop a lot at the store called the Buckle, but we don't anymore. And we walked in there, and these were on sale with another pair, and I couldn't resist. I'm a sunglass junkie, and when I saw it, I said, "That those are my colors. They're blue and yellow." And
Yeah, those are sick.
yeah, so I was like, "All right, they're mine. They're cheapies. I can lose them on the river. I can scratch them, whatever, and move forward. Or we can wear them while we are hanging out with all of our friends on the Wheel and Trigger Live."
Yeah, those mean business for sure. Those definitely mean business. Nice.
What's up, Steve Harris? How you doing, brother? All the
Hey,
way out
Steve
there in
Harris,
Cali,
the little
Cali.
bear.
RC Jers, what's up, brother?
What's up, dude? What's happening?
Man, we got Fran 2. I'm sorry, Fran. Who else we got on here? Chris Kuklinski. Cheers, nerds. Yes.
Yes.
Chad has already made himself very, very known that he's present. And regular Joe, that's our boy Owen Simmons. I love regular Joe RC. But yeah, man, thank you guys all for being here. All right, let's talk a little bit of racing. Let's talk some racing,
Okay.
man. We had the Roar Electric Nationals, and I want to
What I would like to call the soulless showdown.
yeah. So yeah, I don't run electric A scale personally. So I understand the part of it in the business. It's the biggest classes in all of RC, racing RC is going to be in the electric side, especially in the intermediate and sportsman side of things. And then now e-truggy has just turned into this phenomenon. It's a huge, huge class everywhere you go. So much so that people are now making like what 3 classes of it: sports and intermediate pro. I mean, it's gotten to that point. So I and I hold no bones. I'm not a huge fan of e-truggy. I just another class, and then you end up with bruggy bodies, so they're just bigger electric buggies, and just same with nitro. I that whole thing's kind of annoying, but it's still big part of the industry. It's a big part of sales. It's a big part of development. So I wish that they had a better turnout. But did you pay any attention, or did you watch any of the racing this last weekend?
I watched just a snippet of it because, yeah, I mean, it's not as exciting as watching the nitro races. I do enjoy some soulless electric buggy every now and then, But what I took from it. Like I just watched a couple laps and stuff, what I saw on the internet, and it just looked like the track didn't have any excitement to it. I don't. Did you look at the track at all? They looked like It
I
looked
did.
like a just a larger size 10 scale track to me. The lanes were a little skinny for 8 scale. Um, yeah, the track just didn't have anything with pizzazz on it. You know, it kind of. I know why they did it is because they were planning on having maybe baby truggy and four wheel short course out there that didn't end up happening, and they have a tough time. Baby truggy does okay on an 8 scale track, but four wheel short course has a little bit of a tougher time with the bigger stuff. So I know why they have like a combo track, but yeah, I think maybe next year with probably even less. I don't know the future, but the they should have it separated at least in the ENATs for 10 scale and 8 scale so that we could see like um a proper 8 scale track for the 8, because it is the 8 scale ENATs, even though it is the ENATs, it
Yeah.
has been since I started watching it. So seeing those guys run on a proper 8 scale track with big ass jumps and cool features, especially even bigger ones because it's electric, like you could have a lot of rad stuff right out of turns and all that with all the power that those things have. I
Yeah.
think that would have made it a lot more exciting to watch for sure. But no, I didn't watch much of it.
I
Maybe I mean I probably watched 30 seconds of it.
I didn't watch much either, other than like stuff that was on Facebook. I did try to tune in and find one of the A mains, but unfortunately, for my watching the racing on Sunday was my wife's birthday, and we spent it doing what she wanted. So I really wasn't on the phone. So the one thing that I can tell you is I'm going to agree with you on the track. And I think Garland and G's track, I mean, the dude is a mega supporter of RC, and I appreciate him to the fullest extent. And just like anybody, I'll knock anyone if they're wrong, and I'll praise anyone when they're right. But the track it did leave a lot to be desired, but it also had a crossover. And for me, that is an epic fail on a track, especially for a national. They're gimmicky. I have two rules with my track builds. Any track that we do will not have a wall ride or a crossover. We did a crossover one time. I was convinced of it. I hated it. I didn't want to do it in the first place. But um, the only crossovers I've seen kind of work, but it still sucks for marshaling, is like when Joey does the table that you jump off of. But even then, it's still kind of gimmicky, but it gives you more track. And that
Yeah,
means,
they definitely give you more track, but they had plenty of track there. You'll see crossovers on a lot of smaller tracks, and it definitely gives you more track. And I think they're cool if they're done the right way. A long and low versus something that's going to be head high on somebody. Something like that. That's the only way.
yeah. So obviously, I had a few guys there that I was rooting for, personal reasons, business reasons. Dakota fucking just had a terrible weekend. Um, so sucky to see that because he's been on such a roll, and I've talked to him, and he kind of told me what was going on, but um, he was kind of out of the picture. But it was really good to see Bornhorst up there. He got himself a couple top 6 or 7s, I want to say. Mayfield is really, really bumping that stock in techno right now. I mean, they're getting their money's worth out of him for sure. I mean, they've never won a national event. They never won a DNC. They've done both this year. They've won two
Yeah,
different national classes. They won, DNC, and I can't remember. I'm sure he won something at Silver
yeah. I
State,
think that
maybe,
was the
maybe
only
not.
lap that I saw was a highlight from I don't know if it was J Concepts or somebody, but it was Mayfield doing a lap, and I was like, yeah, he's looking good.
Yeah,
Looking
exactly.
good. So
But I did
uh,
see the one thing I did catch though, and Fran brought this up, was Tiregate. We saw Tessman running some very much so J concept reflexes.
yeah,
Like
there was
100%.
really there was really no hiding that one for
No.
sure. I mean, I don't know if that. I almost felt like reaching out to the guys and and seeing what their official statement was for the show, but I just didn't get around to it. But I'm interested to know how that occurred and happened, and was it approved? I mean, what how'd that go down?
Yeah. From what I
Um,
understand and what I've heard is Tessman's not been happy or didn't like many of the tires that Hot Race had to offer to begin with, or as of late. I don't know if they liked them when they were testing and to get on them, and then now all of a sudden they're they don't like, because how it is, because you run Hot Race tires most of the time. It's kind of like, all right, V2s, and there's a couple compounds for whatever
Yeah.
reason. When the V2s are fast for everybody else, Testman, I mean, he doesn't even like the tire. He doesn't run it very often or ever. So if you're not comfortable with the tire, I mean, why don't
I
in
mean,
my opinion, he should have already parted ways. He
mhm.
shouldn't have done that. He should have already parted ways. It's a known fact that he's not happy with some of their more popular tread patterns. And so yeah, what do you think?
Well, I think if you're not down for the brand or, wholeheartedly in with the people or that kind of stuff, you shouldn't take the deal in the first place.
Yeah.
Obviously there was testing before he got the tire. He took the deal. So if he wasn't happy with the tires, then that should have been he can go anywhere he wants. He's Ty freaking Testman.
Well, you would
So
think. I mean, you would think that, but
yeah,
I mean,
from a standing from this side of the table,
J Concepts is loaded down with top pros. Whether or not they'll give free product, or I'm sure the Testmans want salary. They're not doing anything for nothing, in my opinion. I don't really know what company out there right now, that's gonna throw bigger world champion style money at for tires right now. Not huge numbers. So I don't know what I'm not privy to his deal with Hot Race, and none of my business. But I agree with you. You shouldn't be on him if he's not going to run him, or didn't like him, or doesn't like him.
yeah. But I mean that's going around a lot. In the industry, you see at the Worlds. A lot of drivers weren't right driving their factory tire at the Worlds. I don't know where this comes from. It's obviously not coming from the. I don't know. I don't think it's coming from the tire companies. I think it might be coming from chassis companies or something like that really wants their guy to win and doesn't care about the tire company, because you don't see this with any other product on somebody's car. Like if you were at a race and only OS engines worked there, would you direct the guys to say run an OS engine so we can win? I don't think so. You know,
No.
so that's a tough subject, and I honestly don't know if it's coming from because do they ask? Did Ty call Nicola and say, hey, these none of my tires are working, we're off pace, we're this, we're that, is it okay, do you mind, what's going on? Or if he just went ahead and did it, or if he's getting pressure from X-Ray to get a win, to figure out what he needs to do. And if J-Cons are a second faster or half second faster a lap, then that's what they want him to do.
Mhm.
There's no telling what actually happened or why he chose to do that.
Right.
But what I can say is he is definitely not the only pro doing it. He's just the one that kind of got picked out
Yeah,
this
and that
weekend.
happens at those larger events. That's one. If one guy does it, it's emphasized to 100%.
Yeah,
You're exactly right. It's just what he was doing, and somebody could do something at Wicked this weekend, and it's all eyes are off of Kai after that.
it pretty much happens at almost every race.
Sure.
It does happen at every race, I
Which
would
goes
say.
back to what we've
You
talked
know,
about this before, though, that how much like loyalty needs to be upheld at this point, because there's so little of that, especially in the lower ranks of sponsored drivers, everyone looking for the better deal, that loyalty, in my opinion, right now is like the biggest currency when it comes to
yes,
drivers. So, we'll see. I mean, Ty's always been very loyal. They stick with their brands for a long time, and they do what they can, Ty and Gord, to make it work, and
yeah. That's
they're
why
they're very
I
good
feel
at it.
it's a little unfair for him getting such a fucking uproar
Yeah, and
over
nobody
that.
knows what the real deal is, like you said.
Yeah.
So Case Edwards brings up a really good point, and it's been spoke about through Lefty and the No Name podcast and other places. Do we think, I assume he's asking both of us, that they should combine the nationals? You want me to go
But
first?
yeah, go ahead.
Well, I have mixed emotions about the combination of a national event. The way that they do the nationals right now, really works well for fuel gnats, and it has. If we're really worried about entry counts, then yes, combine it. But it's going to take away a lot of why the nationals are so good, in the sense that you're there at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning and you're done by 5 or 6 o'clock at night. You're at dinner. You've got time to wrench. The practices are all very equal, and they can make them very equal, but you'll have less of it. Um, it sucks that the classes like 4-wheel drive, short course, and mini truggy didn't get the love, which both had been classes at 10 scale nationals in the past. I mean, well, short course, 4-wheel drive short course was the ENATs, but the mini truggy prior to this year was 10 scale nats. So that kind of sucks. But to be honest, it's not a huge class, and not a ton of people run it on a regular basis, maybe in a few hot spots in the country. So it makes sense that those classes, especially 4-wheel drive short course, kind of been dead for years, ever since e-buggy kind of really blew up. So I don't think so. Personally, I think that electric just doesn't have the appeal to the national caliber racer, or the people that are willing to travel for them. And Nitro does. And Nitro has a world championship. And right now I know they're talking about doing an electric world championship on the opposite years. I also kind of don't think that that's really necessary. I think an electric world championship it takes away from the value of the Nitro World Championship that's every other year. It also makes it very expensive for the manufacturers to get people to worlds every year, in the A scale side of things. So I don't know. I'm on the fence, but I'm going to say I don't think they should at the moment. I could be convinced otherwise, and I'm not gonna tell you that that's my hard stance, but that's just how I feel about it. I could be convinced if with a good argument.
Right on. I feel kind of the same way. I feel like the electric classes are definitely a track time class for all the pros. Not at the club level. That's a first class for a lot of people. It used to be my first class.
Sure.
But for the pros, electric is their second class, and they're doing that just for track time.
And that's what they're doing with the e-truggy now at all the big races.
Yeah.
They just
So
no one even ran. No, none of the pros were running e-truggy, and now they kind of have to, because if you're not, you're getting left out of all that practice time.
yeah, but yeah, I don't think they should be combined. It's just going to make the race longer.
All right. Let's see. Any other racing news? I didn't pay a lot of attention the last couple of weeks. We've been kind of under a lot of pressure here and lots going on. So, what
Well,
else?
it was cool. In buggy, it was cool to see Lutz on the podium. He got third in
Yep.
buggy, so that was pretty cool. And then in truck, it went Tessman, Sontag, and Mayfield. So that's how those ended up.
Yeah. I mean, Tessman won one and got a second. So really, he kind of was the big winner on the weekend, because Mayfield won one and got a third. So overall, I would say Tessman was the king of the ENATs. It was cool to see Eric Deschaines from Bago up in Canada get him. He won the Masters, the 45 plus. That was really cool. And he was also had Mark Calandra, who Mark's come down to my track a couple times and race. He's a cool dude. Um, but yeah, that was it was pretty cool to see that happen. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't have just so that, I don't hurt anybody's feelings and all the snowflakes that might have got a little bit on butthurt on the electric comment. I love the fact that there's electric racing, and there will always be, and there needs to be. I personally just don't run it. I only run nitro, and I run 2 classes, and it's because I'm done for time. But if I was a racer and not somebody else doing other stuff at these big races, then I would probably also run a truggy, or electric buggy and stuff like that. Definitely, the one thing you won't ever see me race is an e-truggy. I guarantee that. It's done. No one has to worry about me hacking them or beating them in an e-truggy race.
Yeah, and I think electric is the best way to get into 8 scale, man.
Absolutely.
It is the best way to retain uh, a new person coming into the hobby that wants to get into 8 scale, for sure.
Yeah. There's a question by a Facebook user. I can't see the name because on
We
Facebook.
just missed one. I've been meaning to comment on it. The one I
Okay.
think it was two before that. Somebody was saying something about the bruggy bodies. I think the bruggy bodies are cool. To be honest
Okay.
with you, I think they last longer. I think that's a huge plus right there. Is that they last longer. I think the ones on the mini truggy are fucking horrendous, but the ones on the 8 scales are rad.
So I I think the bruggy bodies look well. The Proline one's a little off to me. I actually like the Techno or the J Concept style better, in my opinion, because they
Yeah,
look
the
less like a
JCon
buggy.
one's cool. I like that
But
one.
my issue with it is they are way too close to a cab forward buggy body, and especially the Proline one. So for me, all we've done is we took away the differentiation of buggy and truggy, and to me, it makes no sense, and I'm not on board with it. Now, Roar has the opportunity right now, knowing what they know after the feedback they got at Fuel Nats, and then I'm sure there was more talks at Electric Nats that I'm not privy to, and they have the capability of making rules to differentiate those two bodies before next year. Like they have that ability. And I know that they don't want to like eliminate the bruggy body altogether because now you've got all these manufacturers who are making them, but they need to make them do something else with it to make it look
Yeah,
more like a
they
truggy.
can't just take an S15 buggy body and then make an S15 truck body that's damn near identical.
Right.
You know, I mean, it works. I get it. I like it, but I mean, we can't really argue realism looking trucks when we got. I've never seen a car with an extended cab, and all of them got a little extended cab window in them. You know, we're not dealing with realistic bodies in the first place, so the whole bruggy thing doesn't really bother me at all. I think they're better for the hobby because they last longer, and that's better for people.
Yeah. Our boy Chad, who keeps is our one of our biggest or the biggest donator we've got of this live show. He's liking that hat. So maybe you need to get a flex fit. Chad, post what size flex fit you want, in a large, extra large, or small, medium, whatever, however they come, and I'll make sure that Chase gets you one of them badass new racecraft hats that ain't even dropped yet.
Yeah, these should be out like next week, maybe the end of this week. Pretty pretty sure. I was gonna drop them today, but got a little issue going on with them. So
He was off
um,
all day. He didn't even. He just laid in his underwear with his hand Al Bundy down his pants, and that was the end of it.
yeah, but this is a lower profile hat that we normally run that we normally do. It's the first 7 panel we've ever done. And a little insider tip for everybody that's doing or that's on this is this ain't gonna be the only color. We're gonna drop this in 3 colors at once.
Ooh, I like
So
it.
be on the lookout for that. Flex fit's kind of tough because you got to go with 2 sizes. So if you could deal with a snapback on the back, I'd be happy for you to be wearing one.
I'm a snapback guy. I like flat bill snapback. But everybody's different, and that's what I love about this free country.
Yes. Is there
What
3 sizes of flex fits? I think
uh,
there's three. It's like small,
if
medium.
there are, then it's those. If you got a bigger head than a large, extra large, then go to big and tall store, man.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
this one's just a little smaller. It doesn't look like the old school trucker hat. So, um, yeah, it kind of looks like a flex fit, but you got some adjustability. What if your hair you want decide to grow a mullet and you need more room back there? What are you gonna do?
yeah, exactly. I hear you. So
That's why belts have different holes in them.
what's faster, electric or nitro? I mean, I know the answer, but I want to know your answer.
What's faster? It
Yeah.
seems like people always turn faster lap times with electric, so something going on with that.
Instant power electric is obviously faster. There's nothing you can do to stop that initial badass burst of electricity. But the real question is what's more fun, not faster.
Yeah, what's funner for you? That's what matters.
Jared, I'm gonna I'm gonna probably just kill your name. Kazo Kree.
Kazakria.
Kazo Kriya.
Boom.
Okay.
Kazakria.
Kazo Kriya, he says the broadcast is horrible. I didn't watch it, so I can't comment, but I don't know if it was Live RC or who it was or whatever, but not everybody has the same great internet and different things. But I know that I personally use Danny Paz for our events, WRCE, and anyone wanting him to come to their event, as long as it doesn't jeopardize him doing mine on those weekends, then you should contact him. But if you take him from me on my weekends, we will fight. I'll find you and we'll fight about it. All right. We talked about
So
racing.
I looked at a comment, sorry,
Go ahead.
from Josiah Jr. He brought up something with the departure of Cav from Raw Speed for not the first, but the second time. Pull up that comment from Josiah Jr.
I'm
That
looking
one,
for it right now, but here it is.
he's got a small conspiracy theory that Raw Speed, I don't know if that's saying that Raw Speed's gone or Raw Speed got sold.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
That is interesting. I will
very
definitely
interesting, right?
I'll look into that for sure. But man, wouldn't that be wild?
Yeah. That'd be
I mean,
crazy.
their website's still active. I'm looking at it right now, but maybe they're just getting rid of inventory. I don't know, but maybe Jason Snyder sold it to Horizon.
I don't know.
And
Maybe if somebody could ping Jason Snyder, we could get to the bottom of this and maybe get him on a live call.
Jason Snyder, if you're listening and you want to comment on why you
If
possibly wiped your Facebook profile of Raw Speed,
yeah, if you
I
want to
don't
clear
know for a fact,
the
but
air.
I assume Joe knows. LFR is awesome. I'm going to tell you, Chris Schaefer has made some amazing designs and body lines over the years, and he doesn't get the credit he deserves. He's a good buddy of mine. I'm friends with a lot of people in the industry, obviously, but Chris, we share the same birthday. We have a similar hobby that we're into together. We're both into like reef tanks and saltwater tanks, and but I started selling this stuff a long time ago, and matter of fact, when I went to Reedy Race, he had just came out with a B44.3 body for me, and my body got to be the body art on his website and stuff like that. But he's a great guy, and he does do some amazing stuff, and a lot of people copy his stuff. He doesn't get credit for it, but Chris Schaefer is a rad dude. He told me he's
Yeah, his
coming down
bodies
to
are
the Wicked
sick.
Weekend. So I'm gonna get to see him. He moved from Florida up to about 2 hours away from me here in South Carolina. So hopefully I get to see him more here soon.
Yeah, his bodies are super rad, and I always like the paint schemes he uses. I cruised his website before, and all of his bodies that he has on his website have cool paint jobs. So shout out to that.
So Cole, I'll just answer your question blunt. I did run it at Nationals. I borrowed one from Provitas because I didn't have one. I actually showed up with the rhinoceros body for S Works, and it was terrible compared to the Bruggy body. But the Bruggy body not only handles better, but it's better for pitting. You can grab them like a buggy by the shock tower and underneath the front. So if I don't like it, but we've got to run it to be part of, or to at least have the same chance everybody else that's running it has. It's a rule that isn't in place, and until there's a new rule for that body, everyone's got to run it if they want to be as competitive as possible. So that's what I
Yep,
got to say about
and
that.
it doesn't get grenaded as fast. That's what I like about it. Yeah, it doesn't look as much like a truck.
This one says solid question
Neither
about
does the
raw
new
speed. Oh,
Tundra. That doesn't look like a damn truck anymore. Man,
the Tundra.
dude,
I'm gonna look at.
they fucked that truck up, dude. I'm sorry. It looks cool when people like put a leveling kit and tires, just like anything else. But man, that thing is fucking ugly.
Raw Speed still posting stuff. They posted something today on their Facebook page. So I don't know. Who knows? I can't get. I'm not getting into that conspiracy theory. I hope he's. I hope he's doing well. All right.
Ooh, that was a good question, Anthony Wheeler. What's going to be the excuse when it starts messing with SCT? Are we going to see SCT shock towers? I hope not, dude.
No,
Yeah,
no, because the short course truck is a full fender truck. It's different than a truggy. The truggies have always had exposed wheels. They're open wheel. So no. All right, I went first last
they're on
week.
their way though. When they came out with that Axis body for the short course truck, it definitely lost its cool profile with that body.
Francis said he used to be a reefer and then he started running RC and that was a wrap. Well, I started being a reefer because I needed a hobby to get me away from the hobby that I turned into my business.
Is that what aquarium people call each other? You guys call each other reefers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Reefers.
Reefers.
So anyways, Fran, every time I see your name and what you say, we pop up and you're just cooler and cooler every time. So that's awesome.
Yeah, Francis is a dope dude.
Fran's awesome. All right. So I am going to freaking
yes, Jared.
Look
besides my work truck.
Asian hobo. He's all about the reefer also. All right. Let's
it's like
move
the Sublime
on.
song, Reefers.
Reefer. All that. Why are you smoking all that reefer? Smoke 2 joints because I smoke 2 joints. I smoke 2 joints again. All right. So you're getting to start this week. Let's start with products. Today, Chase gets to start with the product segment. Okay.
I've got 3.
What? An hour ago, you didn't even have 1.
No, I've only got 1 news.
Oh, okay. I
One
misunderstood.
And these obviously have been waiting. Everybody's been waiting for over a year for these things. I've been waiting for them forever, but the HB World Spec kits look like they're finally hitting the streets. You know, the internet was flooded with everybody with them opening their boxes and posting pictures of their manuals. So I'm glad they finally got that thing out. You know, I think people were losing a little bit of faith waiting that long for that car. So I'm glad people are starting to get those that pre-ordered a long time ago for those. So that's cool. I can't wait to get the car. I'm excited to get the car, and just because I need a new freaking car really bad. Yes,
I'm listening.
So that's it.
So it's all about just about the car.
Yeah, just
World Spec, the car that everyone knows is coming. No,
it's not. It's not just a picture on the internet anymore.
It's not here. It's not here yet. Maybe tomorrow or the next day. Just because a couple people have gotten theirs, that was like air freighted in.
Justin Hoogland got one.
Dude,
but he is the heat wave.
I could smoke Justin Hoogland with my eyes closed on the racetrack, but I'm pretty sure that kid can kick my ass in promoting a product. I love it.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's into it, and I'm grateful that he runs some of our stuff, and he's a cool cat. So, but yeah, so what that he got one? Don't be jealous.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous. I think I pissed him off a little earlier. I sent him a picture of the winner of the world's ugliest dog contest, and it was this fucked up looking Chihuahua thing.
Yeah, it's every year that same dog wins, dude. It's so ugly.
And I think he took a little offense to it
because his dog is the same kind of dog. He's got a Chihuahua.
I don't know, like that. I thought his dog looked like that, but then he's like sent pictures that what his dog does look like, and I was like, oh yeah. I can see why you might be a little bummed out that that's what I think your dog's dad looks like. He literally sent pictures of his dog's parents. Like,
if you tried to tell me that Lola was one of the ugliest dogs, I literally would fly out there to kick your ass. We would fight for sure.
Dude, I would lose your dog in like a stack of pillows.
Because she's amazing.
Fluffy fucking thing.
Yeah, I get it.
All right. So second one is shout out to Trueform with their new Lexan wings, the Miller Time wing. I've never ran a Lexan wing, so seems like that might be, Ty's been running them forever. They're not very popular. A lot of people.
I ran them at Nats. I ran one all Nats.
I'll try one. Fuck it.
I didn't run their wing, but I ran a ultimate.
Yeah, there's a couple of them out now, and Trueform, they're a smaller brand, so it's a big thing for them to launch everything they launch. So wanted to give them a shout out, and maybe that's the next big fad is everybody's going to be running Lexan wings now, because there's a lot more people making them. So I hope they do well with them, and I'm going to give one a shot. Now, is a Lexan wing like an electric thing only? No, because Ty runs a low LCG head and an Lexan wing, so that combo must be working. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see how they last,
Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have them. I'm gonna make Daniel or TJ, one of those two, cut one out and put it on my car for me. Like I'm gonna have that whole like, oh, the manufacturers themselves doing it.
Yes.
So
Cool.
my turn.
And then last one is, it was brought up a little bit before, but we're dropping a new hat, so we're excited about that. It's going to be cool. It's on my head.
Crickets.
Fuck. Yeah. Okay. I'm dropping a hat. Maybe this week. Who knows? You fucking dicks.
All right, so my turn. I got two products. I don't have but two products. So one is a company that has really cool products. I'm going to start with that one, Robert. So I bought from this company a while back. I was redoing one of our guest bedrooms and turned it into a gaming room with a sim rig and then a TV for PS5 and whatnot. And I had saw that they came out with some stuff to like hang bikes and stuff like that. It's called Hide It Mounts, and really cool mounts. They ship quick. They really have nice stuff. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's really simple. Great idea, great concept, clean website, really good customer service. I would recommend going to their website and seeing if they have a mount of something that you want to hang inside your house or your garage, because honestly, they do some really sick stuff. So and the way that stuff hangs just looks clean or hides, like the name, hide it. I ordered a package that came with some LED lights to go behind the TV and stuff like that, just to kind of make the gaming room kind of pop a little more. um and once I get the LED lights up, I will post a picture inside of the Wheel and Trigger Facebook page. But yeah, very cool company. I recommend it. Hide It Mounts.
Very
.com.
cool. Very cool. I hate to interrupt your next product, but Jason Snyder is in the chat.
Hell yeah.
Jason,
Jason, we would love to have you call in about 20 minutes once we do the live call-ins, because we want to debunk this silly rumor that might have just popped up. Well, we just want to know. We heard it. We just want to know if it's true. So give us a few minutes to finish up what we got going on here. All right. So my second product, what?
Segue to your next product. What do you got?
Oh.
And it's not fair that you've got a sound guy, so I'm going to load some to do whatever you want.
Well,
so
when you want to pay him, you can send the sounds to him.
No, I will go to Five Below and find something that makes noises. And yeah, you don't start Stevie Wonder yet. Look at this guy. He's not even one beer deep. Not even one deep. I'm on beer 3, and he's already Stevie Wondering. Second product. What's up?
I got one kidney. Don't ever forget that. Okay. Second product is, I don't know who all uses AirTags. I got AirTags and I stick them in my luggage when I travel. Anytime I have something, I don't know. I keep one kind of in my truck, so if I need to throw it in something, I just always have one. But one time we put AirTag on our cat just to see where he goes at night. That didn't really work out. It's not like a GPS thing where you can see it where it's been. I mean, you can see where it's pinged.
Traveling.
You don't see like how it got there, but you can see where it pings. But what's really cool is this is just an Amazon product, but it's made by a very, very good company, Pelican. Anybody knows Pelican is super waterproof, and their like actual Pelican cases are super sick. And I saw this, and really it's not the fact that everybody needs this. They just look really fucking rad. I mean, go back to that top picture, Robert. Look at that. They just look cool, but they're waterproof, which makes it even better. So anybody that uses the AirTag system, also, I watched a video the other day. You know, AirTags evidently make a sound. I didn't know this, but if they leave you near your phone and then they're on somebody else who has an iPhone, if they stole something from you or if it's in a car they stole or whatever, it alerts them that they have somebody else's AirTag near them. it's supposed to be for safety reasons for them, so they're not being followed, but also let them know that maybe they have something of somebody else's. But they, at that point, when they do that, this has nothing to do with my product, by the way, but just some interesting facts about it. But when they do that, they can also, because it'll pop up on their phone, they they can make it ding like you can make it ding, which totally alleviates the whole purpose of if you're trying to find something stolen. Now, a lot of people use them for lost stuff, like keys and shit like that.
Yeah, I need one of those on my damn Fire Stick remote, dude. That is a
Exactly.
daily damn battle trying to
Exactly.
just
But the
watch TV.
the crazy thing is I watched this YouTube video and it's real simple. You just pop the thing off like you're going to change the battery out, and you kind of take it in half, and you pop the speaker out, and then they can't ding it. So even if they did steal something from you, they're going to have to look very, very hard, and they won't know exactly where it's at. So
Yeah,
um
make one like the size of a pop socket so that I can put it on my TV remote.
yeah, I'm sure if you look, they probably have like Fire Stick remote covers that have a AirTag type
I need to put a
spot for
chain
it.
to that thing on my table. There's nothing worse than like getting home with your food. Like you get home from like with your hot food, and then you want to turn on the TV and sit on your ass and watch the couch while your food's warm, and then you just can't find your damn remote.
You're like so ready to watch Game of Thrones, and next
That's
thing you know,
the
it's a half hour later, and you don't even fucking watch a minute of it.
that's like the only time you'll see me fired up. It's like it's just like God, I get so furious, dude. I'll call my wife. Where's the freaking remote? You know, like who used it last? And dude, the kids are jerks. Like they'll like hide it from each other so that one doesn't know where the remote is. And I'm just caught in the crossfire most of the time.
Wow.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
that's married life. All right. You said you only had one news.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll start because I got two, and then you could be the cream to the Oreo. You could be the
Okay.
cream to the cookie. All right. So let's see which one it was. Oh, okay. I'm gonna start with this one. It's pretty good.
All right,
So
let's hear it.
I got a question for you to segue into this news.
All right.
What would, if you were to receive a piece of mail that was X years ago that just shows up for the first time to your house, how many years would you be like, holy shit, I can't believe I just got this?
Like, what do you mean? Like
If I sent
something
you,
that I
let's just
wanted,
say I
something I
sent
was
you
looking.
let's say I sent you a letter a year ago and you got it today. Like, what is the longest period of time that you'd be like, I cannot believe this is here now? Like, how long?
I mean,
A week
maybe
or a
yeah,
month?
like not too long. Yeah, I mean, a small span would get my ears perked.
Okay.
Like, well, all right.
A Michigan lady received a postcard postmarked October 29th, 1920.
Whoa, what year did she receive that? This year?
Yeah.
That's insane. That
Over a
that might
100-year
prove.
old fucking postcard.
Did we
And
just prove time travel on the Wheel and Sugar live show? That's the only way that could happen.
I,
Is time travel.
well, to me, this just proves how fucking bad the USPS is.
I don't know.
Like,
I'm thinking time
holy
travel.
shit.
Hopefully, John from Arizona can call in and fill us in on how this happened.
Yeah. So it's the letter wrote, the postcard read, I found census records, death records, and marriage records. Oh, wait, no, I'm in the wrong spot. Never mind. Where was that? Where did it say? Oh, there it is. It said, Dear cousins, the letter starts. We are quite well, but mother has awful lame knees. It is awful
Ooh,
cold here. The note ends with, Don't forget to write us, followed by a question as to whether Roy got his pants fixed yet. And the letter was signed by Flossie Burgess. It had a
Flossie Burgess.
1 cent George Washington stamp postmarked October 29th, 1920.
Wow, that's crazy.
Unreal, dude.
What
Come
is
on,
there a picture?
USPS.
Is there a picture of the postcard?
There is not.
Dang, that would have been
USPS,
cool. Let's see what
do
that looked like.
better. Do fucking better. That is terrible.
I'm trying to find a way to change my my name on here because I can
I can do it for you. What do you want it to be?
I want to be lame knees because my knees suck.
Got it. Boom. Lame knees.
Yeah, there we go. Lame knees.
All right, you are up. What up, Chris Van Air? There's a couple new people that have just joined in. Chemo RC. What's up,
Tasty
boys?
Pilson's here.
Oh, yeah, he's been here. Michael Knight, what's up, brother? All right, Chase, what's your news, brother?
All right, Robert, can you pull up my picture, please? There is a sea otter in Santa Cruz that has been jacking people's surfboards in the lineup. So apparently this sea otter will swim up to your ass, gank you for your surfboard, and then catch a barrel. No shit.
Oh, my God.
And there's an official statement. Let me pull it up. Let's see here. Okay, so it says an aggressive sea otter in California, in Santa Cruz, hassling locals by riding boards she stole from surfers in the lineup. Steamer Lane is a legendary point break nestled along the rocky shores of Santa Cruz, home to the swaths of experienced surfers, as well as a 5-year-old female sea otter with a growing reputation for repeatedly confronting surfers and kayakers. Okay, so the statement is at times she's chewed on the boards and forced surfers to surrender them. Like just totally aggressively jacking these surfboards, right? And here's the report from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. The otter poses a safety risk, public safety risk. So while there have been no confirmed reports of injuries due to highly unusual behavior of this otter, kayakers, surfers, and other recreating this area should not approach the otter or encourage the otter's interactions. Yeah.
All right, I got to cut you off, dude. You've lost.
Good.
Yeah, you've lost at least 10 viewers, and that was a
No.
yeah.
I thought that's
We
cool.
went from
Well, maybe
72 to 58, bro. That's all about the otter right there. I'm sorry. You
damn.
Yeah, that's harsh. I'm sorry.
Wow.
All right, we're gonna move on to mine, which is way better.
Man,
so
my products suck. My news sucks.
Your products. I mean, the
last one. I got crickets for my hat. And now I'm getting want for my news story, dude. Man, well, where's the love?
This guy stinks.
I didn't even do that. All I can say is Casey Wilson was the one that said, "Come on, bro."
I think he's saying that because he can't believe that there's a sea otter that's jacking surfboards and surfing.
I think he about fell asleep, and he might have been one of the ones that left the chat. All right.
Yeah, because your fucking postcard was whatever. Go ahead, dude.
Oh, look, here you go. Bang.
Fake news. There's a picture of it, dude. Pull the picture again. Look at this otter. He is clearly on a surfboard in the lineup, getting ready to paddle out.
I don't care. All right. So this one kind of concerns a little bit of the racecraft environment, in my opinion, and it caught my eye. So the title of this story was, "What do flamingos and pineapples mean in the RV community?" Do you know what that?
Yeah, I do. I've had a lot of inquiries since the flamingo has become our mascot, and it either means swingers or just like open sex areas.
Correct, except for it was debunked.
It was. Okay.
Yes, upside down pineapple at a campsite definitely means swingers. That is the sign. Like, people hang like upside down pineapples in front of their, like, off their porch in their house, like they're swingers. Like, that is a well-known fact. And so people said, what's the deal with all these people with upside down pineapples having flamingos in their campsite? Because, you could be flocked, right?
Yep.
Flocking, people like to flock. But the fact is, because it is such a widely used bird and animal of good design and fun, with children and all ages. They
Mhm.
don't associate the flamingo with the swinger crowd of people. It is actually just a myth. That's what I found
Really?
out reading this story. It's if there are some other symbols for swingers, but the upside down pineapple is kind of like literally the one that you're looking for if you're swinging.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't think it may have migrated to the pineapple? Because I'm pretty sure the flamingo was definitely something to have to do with extracurricular outside of matrimony practices.
Well, I mean,
Dang, I've never slung those
their
three
knee
words
is at
together.
their ankle, so it is kind of a weird.
Yeah,
It's weird.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's really it. And Snyder has messaged me on Facebook. He said we had some questions, so I'm going to send him the number. We're getting ready to do our 1 hour video pee break real quick, and then we're going to come back. I'm going to send this number to our boy Jason Snyder. We are
Cool.
going to talk to him hopefully, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and post up this here video. And Chase, if you got to pee, now's the time, brother.
I'm on my way.
All right.
Are you ready?
This is where the pros meet the Joes. The 2023 RC Pro-Am coming in hot right here in North Carolina.
Quality. Precision. Passion. For servos, batteries, and fuel, go to nitroproracing.com.
This episode is made possible by the boys over at Racecraft. They don't suck, and neither should you. So get your pit game on point with the Command module, the Wadule, and Mini module. Don't forget the flocking amazing pitting accessories or the all-new flock foil that fits nearly every 1/8 chassis and comes in many amazing colors. Use coupon code Wheel and Trigger at racecraft-usa.com for 10% off your entire order. That is Wheel and Trigger with the ampersand at www.racecraft-usa.com. So get on board at Racecraft. We know how to party and we fuck hard.
Laugh every time.
Dude, we fuck hard.
God. Yes. What's up, Brent Lincoln?
Yeah, I'm feeling live right now. I feel good.
Jesus Christ.
What?
Your whole persona just changed right there. I can see you wearing that. Are you gonna wear that to the Pro-Am?
I probably have something better by then.
That's nice. What is that on there? Is that
This is a steampunk hat. This was Halloween 3 years ago for me.
those like
So
horns on there?
it's Halloween 3 years ago is what
Okay.
it is.
All right.
That's what it is. So Looks like we're getting a caller. We are in the second part of our show, my friends. We are in the live call-in part of the show, which is always something that we covet and are really I'm very interested to see what we're going to get out of tonight. So
Yeah, we'll see. This is my favorite part of the show for sure.
all right. Well, I know Robert is in there talking with someone right now, and
Yep.
let's see. Let's see what this says. Oh, damn it. Well, he should have, Chemo, you should have bought it from me then.
Yeah, sorry about that. I still can't ship there. But Brent
All
can.
right, we got a caller on the line.
Yep.
All right.
Strap in, folks.
Oh,
It's time
boy.
for literally unknown.
Welcome to the stratosphere. Who we got? Tell me it's Jason.
It is.
Jason Snyder. What's up, dude?
Good evening, Jason Snyder. How are you
man,
doing?
Doing all right?
Yeah, we're living large.
Doing well. You guys doing good or what?
Couple
Yeah, we're
Coors
killing
Light,
it. Feeling
some
good.
big sunglasses, and couple idiots on a microphone.
I like to hear it. The mountains are blue or what?
They are.
You know it. You know it. So the reason that we pinged you, the internet rounded you up, is because we had a question from Joe Zaire. What was that?
Nothing. Yeah, no.
Okay. Yeah,
maybe I got earpods in. I apologize. I put some earpods in or AirPods in. So probably when I pulled my baseball hat off, maybe it was just making noise. Apologies.
Okay.
All good,
so
man.
The reason the internet pinged you and rounded you up for the show was Joe Zaire had an interesting comment and slight conspiracy that he conducted that he noticed a change in your Facebook page. That you are, I think it said something like not employed or something like that. So what's going down with that change?
So this is actually pretty funny. I wish we had Joe on the phone. Maybe I'll try to shoot him a text or something when we get off the phone here, or message him here on like Facebook or something. I have systematically started to kind of clean up my digital footprint over the last, I don't know, maybe 6-7 months. Just no. So to answer your question, absolutely not. No, the raw feed hasn't been sold, nothing like that. In fact, we just I've been posting pictures of a new body for the Associated two-wheel here for the last few days. We've been doing teasers. We've actually got some new carpet tires that we've been doing a whole bunch of development on, and we wanted to wait to release them until we had a new generation of compounds. So we've been through 4 or 5 different test compounds here now, just even the last 30 or 40 days. So the short answer is no, absolutely not. I haven't sold raw feed. What's going on? If there's been any changes that you guys have seen, it's probably just me. Over the years, I just feel like I've acquired so many different like email, like I won't name them all, but like I have my personal email addresses, and then we have rawspeedrc.com. That actually all runs. Don't ask me how, because I don't. I'm not like a guru, but that all runs through like some paid Google service. So if you guys reach out to it's like office@rawspeedrc.com, it actually runs through Google somehow. And so I just kind of got a mess going on behind the scenes, like because of all the YouTube, like even from like my old days of like Short Course World, there's like, that's like linked to one of my old Gmail addresses. And I've just kind of got stuff everywhere. And so I just kind of thought, man, we live in this digital age where these companies, like whatever they are, whether it's like Facebook or TikTok or whatever, like we are, it seems like more and more becoming the product, or our data is becoming the product for these large organizations.
Yep.
And so I've just tried to just trim down and clean up my Facebook page. And to be completely honest with you, the reason I pulled Raw Speed off of Facebook was just because I'm not sure what's going on over in Asia, but I think they're slowing down. Like I've got some friends, and it sounds like certain sectors or segments of industry are slowing down, like overseas. And so I have just kind of been inundated with people hunting me down, like trying to sell me like RC stuff, like OEM.
Dude.
Yeah, I mean,
like whether it's like crawlers or tools. Yeah. And so I just kind of thought maybe I could go a little bit more incognito. But what's funny is I don't know when Joe mentioned or noticed this, because I think I did this. I thought I did that like, I don't know, like months ago, like a long time ago. But I'll be curious when I message him when I did it, because I don't even remember doing it, to be honest. Yeah.
Well, that's
I
good.
just know that I did it.
It's good news that you are not going out of
Yes,
business
100%.
or sold. You know, I like to see the privateer and the guy that starts from nothing, just like yourself, kick ass. So, man, that's great news. It's good to debunk the rumor and to debunk it here with the people that probably care more than the other people. So it's good.
Well, no, I appreciate it, man. No, yeah, I appreciate you guys reaching out and asking. And yeah, I mean, you can't blame people for speculating. There's always something going around the rumor mill, you know?
Absolutely. And that,
oh yeah,
you know, I guess what maybe started that would be the departure of Cavalieri. So while we've got you, like, was that a mutual split, or what do we got going on there?
Yeah. Oh man, I was worried this would come up. I'm not gonna lie. Ryan's a great driver. He's gonna go down as a legend in our industry. I think we can all agree that when it comes to just like accomplishments in the industry, you're just not going to find too many guys. I mean, I think if you started ranking guys like all time, like guys like Masami Hirosaka probably will never be matched as far as like overall maybe victories. And then you've got guys that are just legends. You know, Mayfield's a legend at this point. I mean, these guys have been doing this since they've been teenagers. Cavalieri is one of them.
Yep.
Of course, there's all these other super talented. I mean, Dakota's rise to like just. I mean, he has an off day here and there, but he's been so incredibly dominant. I mean, he had the fastest lap of the world, you know, in Spain. I mean, that's something. I think it was a 49.3 if I remember correctly. But anyways, to answer your question about Cavalieri, Ryan came to me this year, and obviously Horizon. There's been so many shakeups at Horizon, as you guys see. Even recently, it sounds like there's still people kind of coming and going and whatnot. And he came to me, and we just kind of we talked about kind of what Raw Speed really needed, or you know what we kind of had intentions of doing and what we needed. And at the end of the day, I just don't think Ryan and I ended up seeing eye to eye. Is the short answer. I think that's the answer that I think is tells people what they need to know without, you know, I'm not a big fan of, I don't think that finger pointing helps anybody.
Sure.
You know, in any circumstance, more or less. So, you know, I guess I would just leave it at that. You know, Ryan's he's a great driver, and he'll provide a tremendous amount of value to somebody, I'm sure. But at the end of the day, we just couldn't kind of see eye to eye on what we were accomplishing. So simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, for
hopefully
sure.
It was on good terms. Now, I don't know if this is overstepping my bounds, but how do you feel about that being the second time this has happened with him? Is it kind of the same things that was going on the first time, and then it kind of came back? And
well, you know, it's tough. I think it's tough. I mean, I think when Ryan came, I mean, I think that he arrived. I don't know. You know, we talked more deeply the first time he joined about the, you know, the kind of the situation and kind of these common goals and things like that. And I'm trying to think of how to answer this. Like, the last thing I ever want to do is,
well, I'm sure with this second go, you had intentions of a very long term, I would imagine.
I think that was actually, honestly, I think that was our first intention. And the first time Ryan came, we really hoped that I had faced this really challenging question starting this business from scratch. So we started off importing tires. We've always designed everything in-house, always. We've never had like, our stuff's never been designed like overseas or anything like that. We've always designed everything in-house. And then we ended up having some issues, which I won't bore the world with today, but we started making our own tires back in February of 2018. So we've been making Raw Speed tires in the United States of America since 2018. And we make all of the molds. I personally make all the molds, and we do all the bodies, all the stuff. We do our very, it's not that a product that's made in America is necessarily like better. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys and tell you that like a tire made in America is like a better 100% better product. It's just that I think you keep the business. We try to keep more of our money circulating in our community, whatever that is. And so it's not about, for me, it's not because I live in America. Like I say, made in America. But like if you were to if you guys lived in Spain, I'd be like, okay, well, make your stuff in Spain. Like make it locally, you know.
I get where you're coming from.
But,
I definitely take pride in all of our stuff being sourced and made here.
It's a big deal. I mean, man, we had like a guy reach out a couple weeks ago, like from like a union, like a union member, like a electrical workers union or something like that, and they wanted like sponsor an event and stuff, and they're just, the Made in America thing was a pretty big deal to those guys, and so I appreciated it, but the question I had was, do brands like Raw Speed and others, do they benefit, and how do they benefit from professional drivers? And so I'll give you an example. Let's just say driver A, that drives for brand A or whatever, comes to a track and smashes everybody with a given car, a given tire, really anything, right? When that driver leaves, if the local community can't experience the same success that super, that super talented professional was able to achieve, they're not going to keep swiping the credit card for those products. It's just as simple as that. You know what I mean?
Well, that's kind of a loaded question though, because if the track, for instance, if every single person at the track switches to brand A, but the only one hotshot that races at that track is on brand B, there's only one, but everybody else is on brand A, and that in the hotshot is miles above the others and wins. Yeah, it might be detrimental. Being in the same boat as you are for the most part, I feel like certain things do sell, and only a very select few certain people can sell product. I think for the most part, and I'm sure you're willing to, say the exact same thing that I think and say and feel. For the most part, I would say 95% of everybody that is on a quote unquote team in the RC industry does it for the discount. Which brings me, we talked about this a little bit ago, and I wanted to ask your opinion on this. Where do you rate loyalty from drivers versus like how much they buy, how long, what is loyalty to you as far as someone that gives money or gives product and whatnot to drivers?
Man, I think you're asking some fantastic questions. All right, I'll take a stab at this. Well, let me just finish this one thought, just for the record. I think that I personally, Jason, or I guess you could say Rossi, but mainly myself, I struggled because it's clear to me that there are racers that, as you just said, they have a pretty big impact. The trick is that nobody really seems to have a true and accurate understanding on the real metrics. And we know that the racers don't know. And I would argue that, I'm a manufacturer. I actually make this stuff, like literally from scratch. And we really haven't been able to pin down like the true value. Like it's I wouldn't say it's arbitrary, but it's very difficult to measure. And so I can tell you that, like, for example, when Ryan came to us in 2020, we had an amazing season. Like, I think he won like 4 like national level events. Like he was driving at the time, he just seemed to really gel with that S-Works 8-scale car. And I think that, to be completely honest with you, I think that our limited selection of tread patterns actually ended up being a net positive, because it just made it easier for him. Like, he wasn't like inundated with choices, right?
Sure.
He didn't have 50 tread patterns and 50 compounds to be, confused by. And so we won some races, and it was awesome. I mean, it was literally like my dad gave me my first RC car in 1986. My dad passed away in 2007. And like, when Ryan won one of those first big races, man, it was like the first time in my adult life that I just like was like so bummed that my dad wasn't alive,
Sure.
But in those regions where Ryan went out and did well, We had zero impact.
You didn't
like,
see it.
People didn't start running the tires
over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I
mean,
I
don't
get
me
what
wrong.
you're saying.
I mean, I'm not.
Yeah.
By the way, and this is like, I don't want anybody to like listening to think, oh, like I'm like Ryan did. I guess the point I'm making is that
what
Ryan
you're
did
talking
exactly
about
what we.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Hey, go ahead. Just Ryan did exactly what we asked him to do. He went out there, he won these races. Like he does exactly what he couldn't have done a better job at that point back in 2020, and it still didn't have the the intended effect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's where, like, when you guys say like there are drivers that have an impact, I think that there are definitely situations, there are definitely unique personalities and unique situations where these drivers can have a huge impact, but it's not as cut and dry as cut a check for the top tier pro and your product fly off the shelf. That's just
not one bit.
That is not like that is not.
What you're saying right now is not about Ryan. It's about
the industry.
Companies.
Yeah.
Cutting salaries for people in general.
Yeah.
And seeing what that actually does for their company.
And we're starting to see a shift in that. And as a business owner in the industry, I like it. I like the shift. I've always told people our contracts are very cut and dry. You work for me, I don't work for you. If you're not selling my product, when our agreement's over, don't be upset if you're not part of what we're doing anymore. And fortunately, I would say 90+% of whatever we've been doing has been working, and we need to, we'll cut the fat where we need to. And there's other people in the way, in the queue waiting. But when it comes to like how influential people are and what they sell, we talked about this a little bit ago. Like Ryan Mayfield has put techno on the map. They never won a national before. He's won, Truggy and now Buggy at in electric. He won Truggy National or Fuel Nats. He's done things. He won DNC. Ryan Mayfield can win with anything. Everybody knows that, but it's showing right now that he can win with anything and then help sell what they're selling. There's only, if I had to guess, there's 5 people right now in the country that most of our racers pay attention to that can influence their sales, their sales habits. Outside of those 5 people,
I'm curious to know your top 5 are.
Well, if I had, I'm very partial to a couple because they're my guys, but and they're also my friends, not just people that are either on salary or on the team. But I would say my top 5 would be Mayfield, Finn, oh God, just drew a blank. Rivkin and Drake. Even though that he's kind of on his way as far as like a racer, he's like makes the A main, but really not in contention to win it. I would say Drake and Ryan Lutz, in Tebow. So you throw 6 in there. Those guys are very influential. People will follow them to where they go. And the only reason I don't bring up Cavallari is because I think that, and I love Cav. Cav's a great dude. But I just think that to me, it kind of shows that he's just there for a paycheck right now. I go to the races, I see him, I drink beer with him, but I don't feel like Cav is all in like some of these other guys right now. That's just my opinion, and it has no impact on how I feel about him as a person. But that being said, those other 5 or 6 guys have a following. Like if they post something, if they post it for like to your website or to my website or to whoever's they're posting about, you'll see a sales increase for a short period of time. We're not talking which brings me to the whole other point that how short of a memory our industry has, good and bad.
Yeah.
Like, people forget about all the bad stuff that happens to people, and then they forget about all the good stuff. And then they're only, if it's not within a month, you're really not seeing anything happening. You've got to stay relevant every month, all the time. And it's very tough because it's such a low margin industry, and it's a small industry when you start thinking about the actual numbers of the racing side of things. So yeah, it's cool, and I'm so stoked that you came on and told us this because, in my opinion, we think very similar. You and I, we kind of align with our thoughts and how things are going and where it's at. And I think you got to be real careful with your money and how much you give to who and how much discount you give to the rest, because there's not a lot of pie left, man. It's so saturated right now.
And as a newer dude in this industry, I'm starting to get enlightened on a lot of that stuff as well. So it's good to hear the schooling from the old school guys.
Oh man, I don't want to pretend to. I definitely don't want to pretend to be in the know. I mean, I feel like I learn. I feel like I'm getting educated by the community, by the world, by the just all this stuff. Like I learn something new every day. And you had asked about the teams and stuff like that, and what I thought of loyalty. And man, I wish I had a great answer for that. People ask me all the time. I've actually been asked by quite a few people on our team, like why I don't. I'm sure that most of your listeners know that you can go to like Panjiva or Import Genius, and you can go look up you can look up what any business basically brings into America on the bill of lading. Like this isn't rocket science. It's dirt cheap. It's easy to source. Sure. But like my team has reached out and like they've asked me like, hey, like Jay, like why won't you bring in like titanium? Why won't you bring in, they'll name other companies that are bringing, they have a pretty broad product listing and stuff like that. And I'm like, look, I love what I'm doing. I love the fact that we get to make stuff. I don't live in some I'm not out of touch with reality so far that I don't realize that, let's be honest, the odds of, you can't just make, even though we make, like, let's just say our tires here, right? And we get our rubber from a compounder that's here in the United States. Like, where do those ingredients come from? Probably not here. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah. Probably some other nation that specializes in making those products, And so what I've just tried to do is just stay focused on the things that I feel like we can have the most impact on and create the most value for the people that we do serve. And, I just want to make the best products that we can make for our community. And at the end of the day, there's only so much time and energy, and that's why I've chosen to stay out of like some of these. If you think about just literally think about this for a second. If you had to stack a shoebox full of titanium turnbuckles, you could probably have like, I don't know, $50,000 or $100,000 in turnbuckles in that box. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Like, now, what would $50,000 in tires or bodies look like? It would look like a gigantic warehouse full of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so I've just tried to stay focused on the things that I tried to stay focused on the things that I think have the biggest impact. And like, I love myself a set of titanium turnbuckles. I actually just built. I think I heard you guys talking about the new HB World kit. I built myself one of those hot bodies e-buggies. I've known Torrance for years and years. And I bought a set of, I want to say I bought a set of Jay Contis black turnbuckles. Nice. The black titanium ones or whatever. But yeah, there's just so many other guys doing that. I don't know if you guys know too much about Kelly Lunsford or whatever, but I actually talked to Kelly before Kelly kind of locked the doors. I actually had a pretty long conversation, and we tinkered with the idea of actually making our own stuff, like actually making our own, like he actually told me that, Jason, he's
tooling your own turnbuckles and doing stuff like that.
Yeah, he does. He's like, Jason, he's like, I've watched. He's like, I watched you start raw speed. I've seen you do the tooling and the mold work. He's like, I don't know if you guys know about cutting metal, but you can only cut certain metals. You can only cut it certain, like, so fast. Like, you can't cut it too fast, or it gets hard and it work hard. And so like titanium, you can only cut it at a certain speed. Gotcha. So like there's a minimum time. The reason I'm telling you this is there's like a minimum time that you can basically make a turnbuckle in, right?
Right.
He's like, Jason, this is how long it takes to make a turnbuckle. This is the way it's going to be. This is how much the raw material costs for the stock. This is what it's going to be. And to do that stuff here was like down, like the margins were incredibly low compared to the stuff that you could import. And so it just really didn't make sense to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, like yeah, I guess we just decided to stick with what we kind of had a grasp on, and let the other guys that are kind of more focused on doing the broad and diverse product line and do their thing. But
we talked about
what a crazy ride. It's been.
We talked about the Lunsford thing 2 weeks ago on the last show that we had, and pretty much the exact same thing that you said. Like, whether he was trying to sell it or not, or whatever the situation was, it's so hard to be competitive with it in that space, the titanium space, with overseas. And just like you said a little bit ago, with all these people sending out these emails, they're so hungry to get everybody's new idea. And these people jump in, try to get, a bearing line, or try to get a titanium line or a tool line, and they just use generic stuff with their name on it. It's not the same thing. It's not, and that's, I'm one of those guys that's kind of like, I'm like 5% generic and 95% of the stuff that we do is original. I don't want to be, there's some things you just can't compete with. You got to use the generic side of things, but it's frustrating because there's a lot of people working really hard right now.
Somebody has to, it's somebody has to bring the things that other people aren't willing to do in, you know what I mean? Whatever that means. So it's like, we don't always need to have the best ceramic bearing for our cars. Some guys just want an inexpensive ball bearing so that they can, take the car to rev and run it in the dust. They don't need the race bearings. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some people want to bring the super high end stuff in. It's like, I totally get it. Not only that, but I think what happens is it's almost turned into like this. It seems to me like it's almost turned into like, this is kind of a very weird thing that I never really understood, because in most industries, like let's just say medicine, for instance, as a doctor, you become more skilled in the focus of your discipline becomes narrower and narrower. You become a surgeon, then you can become this surgeon. Next thing you know, you're a hand surgeon, right?
Like hyper specific to what you do.
For whatever reason, right. But like we're seeing something that's so different. Like for instance, we'll see these companies, whether they're big, online retailers or whatever. And I think what happens is they start just kind of going more and more broad. And I mean, Horizon seems to do it by just like buying brands, right? They just buy entire brands. Where some of the smaller organizations, they create their own in-house brands. Like the old Hobbyco days, they had Track Power. You know what I'm getting at here.
Sure.
And so it's tough because what is happening? Like, what are these companies doing? They're just, it seems to me like they're just trying to maximize their profit by just putting more products in front of their audience that they have the margin on. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's the speed of the industry. Always having to come up with something new is what's, I think, driving a lot of that.
Yeah.
For a brand to drop a new product every month is kind of the pressure that we're all on right now, to stay relevant. You can't, I can't post this hat every Friday for the rest of forever and have it be relevant, it's very hard without, good marketing or something like that. And making original products and trying to do your own thing and do it your own way is definitely not the easy road. It's a tough road trying to come up with stuff that doesn't compete with anybody, and stay true to yourself in that route. If that's the way you want to roll.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. What's funny? People ask me about like some of the newer companies that have come up and done like tires or whatever, bodies, like whatever. And I'm like, I think people think that I'm going to be like a little salty or a little sour or something like that. And that just isn't the way I think. Like, good for these people, man. Go do your thing. Create your community. Create your products. Do your thing. I'm a firm believer that like look at you guys, like the racecraft stuff. Like, you guys built this community. Guys love your stuff. Like, it's. I truly believe in my heart that a good product, if you are creating real value for somebody and you're creating a good product and you have a good product, a good price, you're going to do okay. For sure, if you're in a position where you are willing to invest the time and energy to make a tremendous amount of content, or like you said, if you're going to work really hard, which, by the way, I got to give a shout out to like our team manager, Dalton Myers. Dalton's a great guy, and he does so much. Like, he does so much with so very little. Dalton, if you watching this, man, I just want you to know how much I appreciate you. But like, you guys, like, creating this content, like the videos, doing these podcasts. Like, I don't think that a lot of the world, if they've never sat down and had to run, OBS Studio or whatever you guys use to stream with, they don't realize how sophisticated even what seems like a simple podcast can be. Balancing the audio, making sure that all the graphics are going, make sure all the scenes are set up, making sure that all, just everything, and just staying relevant. Like you said, you can only post the same thing so many times, which forces you to you can only repackage something up so many times and re-Photoshop one image so many times before you can start making new stuff, So
Right.
Yeah.
And we got a question
I'll be curious.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I just wanted to ask you one question, and then I'm happy to answer anything I can. I had a really interesting conversation with someone the other day about 10 scale cars. Because when I started racing RC cars, when I came back back in the 2010 or whatever, it was the V4, V44, ST10, T4. And these cars shared 80% of the components, like steering components, chassis components, top deck, just, T-plate, all this stuff. And these cars had shelf lives that were in the decades,
Yeah.
The B4 was around for 10 years or something. And now, and I don't know who kind of started this. I hate to use the word arms race, but that's what it feels like. I don't know if it's X-Ray because they were kind of releasing their new model years with the updates.
It was monthly, not fucking yearly. It was monthly, a new update.
Yeah, it's become so fast paced. I mean,
needs to slow
obviously,
down.
I haven't been in the industry, but around the industry my whole life. But I've only been in it for, coming up on 3 years now, and it's definitely tough to try and stay relevant. And if you're not on top of it and taking all the time that it takes to stay on top of it, you do see a fall off, with the whole thing.
Dude, imagine being a hobby shop owner. I remember I used to walk into the hobby shop at leisure hours, and they'd have and I'm not even kidding. The guy, Scott, super nice guy, owned the place. He'd have 20 sets of rear buggy arms for an associated buggy on the wall.
Yeah.
The
amount, the speed,
no hobby
the speed that products die in this industry is unfucking fathomable. People do not understand what we have to do to liquidate and not lose money, or try to not, if you order 20 and you only sell 15, you sit on 5 for 5 years. If you order 100 and something, you only sell 90,
forever,
or if you order 100 because you think it's going to be hot and you only sell 10, you got 90. It takes people when they become vintage to find you because they need those parts. And it's ridiculous how that's why Traxxas is such a great brand. They're so legacy, all their parts are legacy to the old 2-wheel drive shit. It's all good today when they started those cars. So you're right, but racing is different breed. We're always producing something new to make it better, to make it faster. We need a 10th, we need a 100th, we need a second. And it's just a different way of doing things. I do got one question for you real quick, because someone asked it, and I think it would be a great question for an industry professional like yourself. Who are your top 5 young guns that will be big time in the next 5 years?
Who are my top 5 young guns? Oh man,
I could think of 3 right now. I think there needs to be more than just 5.
Yeah, I would say that.
Well, let's just say under 18.
Man,
under 18.
Same rules apply.
Ooh, under 18, man. Is Mason Fuller still 18 or is he turned 19?
Well,
he was
he's
definitely
right
one
there.
of mine. He was one of mine
he's
for
right
sure.
there for sure.
I would say, honestly, just 3 guys that. There's a lot of guys that I see making progress, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't want to mislead anybody. I still love racing. We're heading down to Channel Islands here on the 29th. We're supposed to be club racing on this Saturday or whatever. I don't follow as closely into the hardcore scene, and the pro stuff and these super big races. I don't follow as closely as deep down into the mains as I used to, because I'm just so kind of head down, just trying to move the ball forward at raw speed. But there are a lot of talented guys, and the Fuller brothers by themselves. I'm actually super impressed, not just by Mason, but also by his little brother.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the
Caden's
standout
awesome.
for all these guys, I think we can agree that's a standout here. And this is to take nothing away from anybody. I mean, watching guys like Ivan Moreno, who's kind of competed with our guy Brendan LaRoe over the last year or so or whatever.
Sure.
So he gets faster and faster. Pretty sure Ivan runs I think he's a techno guy.
He runs techno. Yeah. He drives racecraft too.
But feet. Yeah, very cool. Yeah. So I would say that I have been just stunned by Little Feet. Like Little Bump is just seeing the type of pace and adaptability and speed that's generated by someone so young. It's just it's stunning to me. It's honestly stunning to me.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I mean, I don't want to. It's tough because as someone that owns a company, I got to be careful because the last thing I want is other companies to feel like I'm trying to poach their talent.
Sure.
It's how it is. So there's a lot of super talented guys out there, and I'm excited for the future to see what kind of comes up. But it's tough, where, Brent, I would love to know when you think it's time for these guys to start getting paid. Like, at what point are you wielding enough influence, or are you what is the line in the sand for a paycheck? I think there's a lot of guys out there that are younger guys that are working hard, that are going fast, and when do they get paid? When should they get paid?
That's loaded.
And when, if ever, what's that?
That's loaded. That's a loaded
question.
When, if
paid.
ever, let me ask you. Well, when, if ever. So I had a pretty interesting conversation with a buddy of mine just a couple days ago. There's been some guys that have been incredibly talented in 10 scale that they kind of stuck around in stock, and I think they were kind of incentivized by a variety of different manufacturers to just kind of stay in stock. And I can't help but wonder if at least a couple of these guys, I'm not going to name them because I don't want any of the other ones getting upset, but I think that there's at least a couple of them that could have really made the transition to race at the upper echelon of 10 scale, but they were kind of holdouts and they kind of stayed running these lower, like the stock classes. I think because they were incentivized by a variety of different, if a manufacturer says, hey, look, we're going to give you all your stuff for free if you keep racing stock, I mean, would you migrate to modified, or would you just stay running stock?
I think stock is at a point where it's its own class. It's just a different class. To me, it's like buggy and truggy.
Yeah, but
you know what?
The problem.
My buddy said the exact same. My buddy said the exact same thing.
It was just the other way for so long.
The problem is the last thing you want to see is people that get everything for free and paid racing those as well, because it becomes a contingency or a bonus money class for them. I think there needs to be a certain point where, you win a national championship in Roar, let's just say, that you can't go back to stock. I don't feel that that's right. And
think about it, Brent. There's no stock in mod and nitro buggy.
No. I understand that, but the problem is, and there's no stock in stock racing. It's not stock. It's the most modified shit you'll ever fucking make, period. But the fact of the matter is, stock is more of a stepping stone, even though it's very competitive and very expensive.
Because that's the way it was back in the day. It used to be a stepping stone.
But we don't need everybody running mod and stock together. They need that separation somehow.
If you guys want, I'll tell you the conclusion. So my buddy basically felt the same way. If you guys want my conclusion, it probably won't be super popular, but I'll share it if you guys want to hear.
Give it to us, and then we got to move on afterwards.
Okay, that's fine. All right, I figure that if the guys running stock, if they want to, if they're cool with the peak of their career, racing with a group of their peers and friends, and they want to get their stuff for free, and they're cool with that, then so be it. Then who am I to tell another human being what they should or shouldn't do? Like, that just is what it is.
I agree with that.
pretty much agree with Chase that it's pretty much, stock is pretty much its own thing. Where I think there's a little bit of a conflict is when that let's just say that this 15-year-old kid wants to be a professional. He's vocalized it. He's told you over and over. He's working hard every day. And then you ask him to stay in stock when, I mean, I think Spencer won his first world title at 16. I mean, by the way, Spencer's 10 scale driving has been awesome, has it not?
Yes.
But
yes.
But so the issue is, what does the driver really want? So if the driver wants to be a top tier professional, I think that encouraging him to stay in stock is a mistake. But if the driver says, "Hey, look, I just want to do the best I can in stock because I get my stuff for free and I'm having fun," I'd rather be at the top of stock than the middle of mod or the bottom of mod, then so be it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like their choice to make. You know?
Yeah, it's kind of like the top intermediate guys in 8 scale. Top intermediate guys,
I mean,
probably get most of their shit for free. You know,
do you?
If we're going to be real,
I would.
here.
I mean, yeah. Well, I think it's influence, right? So people ask all the time, and you know, Brent alluded to this a little bit earlier about the difference, like what's loyalty and what's the relationship and what's the team. When people say, like, I hear it. I hear all the stuff. You're like, I pay attention. And people say, oh, you know, it's somebody with a team member, someone with a credit card, or it's this or it's that. And people are 100% entitled to their opinions. And I'm never going to tell people what to say or what to think. That's not who I am. But I do truly believe that there's a lot of people out there that, especially in 8 scale, I mean, you guys see how expensive this stuff is to go racing. I mean, you guys go to one of these tracks that are blue group, and you start murdering a set of tires every few tanks of fuel, it gets expensive fast, you know?
Sure.
And so which guys become valuable on the team? And it's the guys that wield influence. And so what's more influential? An intermediate guy that's incredibly helpful, that's competitive among his peers, that people look up to and look to for setup help and tire choice, you know, determinations and things like this.
Sure.
Or a guy that's maybe a guy that's actually even a little bit faster than him, but is non-competitive in his class.
Right.
You know, so it's like
it's tough, man.
It's a super tricky. Yeah, it really is.
It's a fine line for sure, and there's no right or wrong answer right now. The industry shifts very, you know, like the ocean. It's in and out. So, you know,
what do you think about the classes? I mean, is self-determination is it wrong for racers to be able to determine what class they are in, or should they be ranked like systematically by like a computer? Like Adam, you guys mentioned Adam Drake. Adam happens to be one of my close friends. I talk to him like, I don't know, a lot.
Sure.
Probably once every couple days.
Adam's a stud.
And we tease all the time. But listen, Adam, if Adam and I go to Thunder Alley right now, you know, I'm going last down inside of 5 or 10 minutes, you know, like it is what it is.
Me
so
too.
If we had to race and there were no classes, you know, it's real simple. I would be in like the BCD, you know, depends on how many guys are there, I guess, right? Chase has seen me drive, you know, it's like there's no heroes over here.
I hate to interrupt, but man, I literally
now
cannot hold it in any longer. So I'm going to take a leak. I'm sorry, but I got to go.
All right, no, sorry, not bad. I'm over here babbling, man. I haven't had any like RC conversations with anybody but the guys at the shop here.
It's all good, man.
Time, so.
It's been awesome having you.
I appreciate you guys having me on, man.
Yeah, it's been great having a different perspective, and obviously, you know, on our side, it was great to, you know, when we saw something being said and we started doing research while we are doing our news and stuff like that, and saw that, you know, like, well, that you were still there, so it's cool to know firsthand that rumor is debunked and you're thriving and everything's good. Like we're stoked that you became part of the show for sure.
No, well, I appreciate you guys having me a bunch, man. I can't tell you, as a guy that has turned that camera on many, many times, I can't tell you how thankful I am that you guys are out here making content and just honestly just keeping people engaged and just honestly creating momentum inside the community for guys to keep doing what they love to do. So I appreciate the opportunity to come on and just hang out with you guys and chat a little bit, and I do my best to answer your guys' questions.
No, it was rad, man. We appreciate it, and you're you know, you definitely paved the way for a lot of American YouTubers, and we still talk about you, me and Lucas, when we're talking about doing our videos for our channel. It's always short course world, man. It's a big deal. So thank you for getting that started, and thank you for being part of the community, because it's important to have some OGs still still rocking like you are.
Yeah, Jason, much love for
Dude, I
what you've done
appreciate
and what you're doing.
Dude, I appreciate it, man. But I got to tell you, I look back every now and then. I'll look back at some of my old content, and I look at the newer generation. Like the Tessans used to tease me, and in a very friendly way. They, Gord used to tell me, someone's gonna come along and dethrone you, or they're gonna be the king, and we used to laugh about it, And now, like the art and like when I watch one of Ryan Harrison's videos, like his ability to set the scene and dude. I don't know 1% as much. I think 1% as much about art as that guy does.
Brent needs to fly you out for an interview.
Yeah, we need to do a podcast, Snyder.
Because we got 15 minutes left. Jason, we got to show some other people some love as well. I mean,
let me get off here, man.
I appreciate you coming on, but man, I'm sure you guys could put together a fucking incredible podcast.
Well, we'll do a banger podcast together, but anytime you want to comment or be involved, we do this every other Tuesday, Jason. We'd love to have you keep supporting and be part of it.
Thanks, man. I hope I didn't take up too much of your time. Thank you so much. I'm out of here.
Super great. Thank you very much.
We'll see you around SoCal, Jason. I'll see you up at Channel.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Later, brother. All right.
Well, I mean, that was pretty informative. That was great.
It was great. It was a lot, and it means a lot to have other industry and professionals let us know what's going on. Not just talk about the silly shit that we talk about. He gave us some really good information, and I'm grateful for that because we would have not known otherwise.
No, sir.
All right, we're gonna open those lines back up. Chase, keep them busy for just a second. I have got to go.
Okay, I just saw a comment about a kid. Can you bring bumping up a kid? Let's see where to go. I don't know if Robert can pull that up before we get another caller, but Donnie's dad Williams brought something up. If Robert can, I don't know if Robert's taking a piss too. Oh, there he is. Okay, cool. So it says, from my perspective, when do you move up a kid? Don't want to break his confidence and do my want to keeping him in the sportsman too long. Well, depends on, how he's doing in that class. If he's totally dominating that class, I'd say don't do it too long just for the sake of the other racers. I believe in everybody having a breakout year. We have the series over here. I don't know where you're from, but I have a big thing with people breakout years, and the series is down here. So get him in a series race, see how he does in that series. If he totally dominates that series, don't move him up in that series. Let him have a good, solid season of winning and having fun with winning and learning how to win and learning how to take wins. Coaching him on being humble if he's totally dominating everybody. And then the next year move him up. But don't let anybody talk you into moving up your kid because he wins 2 or 3 races. That's my advice on that.
I'm sorry. I had to drain the main vein. Boys and girls. Oh, shit. Here we go. Let's fucking make this happen. I think we got another call.
We sure
All
do.
right.
Let's see what we got. Who is caller? You're on the line. Oh, it's the people's motherfucking champion.
Holy shit.
Hell yeah.
Woo!
Dude, I called your phone earlier and Robert answered, and I was like, put me on, damn it, tell Brent to call me.
It's too early, bro. You got to call when the line's open. We just had Jason Snyder, Raw Speed on, gave us some good insight, and now the people's fucking champ is on. Chase, what the fuck, bro?
Dude, I don't know what's going on right now, how we caught Cole's attention to even give us some love here, but man, I'm so happy you're here, Cole. What's going on? How are you? Are you ready for 5 days of fun in a day?
Yeah, dude, always. Stay prepared for this shit, dude. I'm just in the trailer right now, wrenching, getting ready for the Wicked this weekend. Wish you were coming, dog.
Dude, me too, man. I wish that more than anything that I had the freedom to get to more of this stuff. I belong there, and I know it.
We're gonna make it happen
building
soon.
Shitters and stuff, right?
Yeah, making your cell phone work.
Pool balls.
Yeah.
I saw your toilet shopping spree the other day. I was like, what is this guy doing, dude?
Dude, yeah, I know. And it took me about 20 minutes inside Home Depot trying to pick the right one. Turns out I brought them home. They were the wrong ones. So I got to go back and do it all over again.
Should have started at Five Below, Chase. Toilets are only $5 at fucking Five Below.
Yeah. So Wicked Weekend prep.
Yeah, under 500.
So you say you're in the trailer prepping for Wicked Weekend. What is, we've got some people on here watching. I'm sure they'd probably love to know what your pregame prep is for a big race like this. What do you go through? How much time do you give yourself to prep? Which I'm assuming you're probably running 3 classes. You probably run a guaranteed nitro buggy, guaranteed nitro truggy, and e-buggy. So 3 classes out there. What do you do? How much time do you give yourself to prep? And do you ever try just anything off the bat with your setups, or are you just going with what you know to start off that first practice seating round?
Yeah, so I mean, pretty much before any race, I mean, it's always the same prep for me. Like any race, club race or big race, or I always take it down to bare bones, check everything out, make sure nothing's crazy worn or stupid, So I just freshen everything up. And about the setup thing, like we didn't have, obviously, like we tested world spec stuff like last summer, but we didn't have like production stuff until right before Worlds. But having, enough time on the car now, I think I can pretty much show up with something that I think will be pretty good. But yeah, we didn't have these parts here last year. So, I mean, and it's not even the same car as what I had last year. So it's way different, but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty used to it now. I just show up with I kind of know what the surface will be like. And really all it comes down to is race time's questionable watering schedule thing that they say they're always going to post, but they never do. So, I mean, I don't know. Honestly comes down to the water for me.
Cut. We're cutting to Brent's fucking comments right here. Number one, okay. You're the king of fucking Wicked Weekend. You've won more Wicked Weekends than anybody out there. Number one. Number two, the big question is there's a very big question that you're not answering at this very moment because Chase was asking some technical bullshit. The big question.
He asked a lot. It was a loaded question.
Yeah, it's very loaded, but I'm going to give you an unloaded question. This is unloaded. This is tailor-made for the people's champion.
Simple.
Who's going to win? Who's going to win the Beach RC Friday night party?
I'm going to go with Casey Wilson.
Casey's going to burn that shit to the ground. We know that.
Well, I mean, he's got to compete with me, maybe TJ.
Man,
I'm not competing, brother. I'm working.
I didn't ask if you were going to win. I didn't ask if you were going to win. I was asking who you thought was going to win the Friday night Beach RC party at Wicked.
Okay.
I think the podium will
hands down Casey Wilson, dude.
But he pussed out last year, though, dude. No, he pussed out last year.
No, he didn't. He was fucking shooting beer out of his ears, dude. He was so drunk.
Not with us. He took a couple shots of this, and then he bailed. It was the year before.
Was it the year before?
Yes.
Oh, it was the year
before. It was the year before. Last year, he showed up with his girly friend, and they were gone before I even got warmed up.
Well, I know for a fact he won DNC and hasn't raced since, so he's damn sure sobered up enough from DNC to blow out Wicked, I'm sure. I'm 100% sure. And JP's going to be there, too, so I'm sure Casey's going to want to be like, yo, dog, this is how we do it.
Who's going to be there?
Jamie Powell on Point Graphics.
Oh, is he?
There's definitely 5 contenders.
Dude, I grew up racing with JP, and we all used to travel. Me, JP, Casey, Bilba. We all kind of used to go everywhere. But JP's just kind of hadn't raced in a while, but he still kind of does stickers and stuff. But yeah, he's going to show up and race, and probably party with us. But I'm sure Casey's going to want to show him like how he gets down these days. Because hell, I think Casey drinks more now than he ever did at the damn race.
I'm looking forward to partying with my boy Casey Wilson. Or Stacy Pilson.
I know y'all remember DNC.
Oh,
I know
Oh,
y'all
man.
remember DNC.
yeah.
Dude, I wish he at the Rager, man. He was definitely on point. He was.
So
Oh man,
what TZO? Oh yeah, I wish I could send Robert those videos right now to post. But what TZO tire are you starting off with, and are you practicing Friday or Saturday?
Well, practice is Thursday or Friday.
That's what I meant. Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna start out on some good old trusty 402 Ultra Soft, or maybe even some clays. Man, clays is always, like I said, it just depends on the watering for that. But clays are normally pretty good for me. You know, especially with TZO, we got three clay compounds now. So, and we might have another little secret weapon coming.
I have some of those secret weapons about 5 feet from me that I'm handing off to some of the boys.
Which makes me want to ask, like, do you need 3 compounds of clay and 3 compounds of super soft and everything else? Like, can we simplify the shit, or what the fuck?
Well, dude, at least we're not 6-mic. 6-mic has 8 or 9 clay compounds.
Bro, I'm not comparing you to some brand that no one's running over here. I'm just saying, like,
3. We simplified it. We went through a couple, and it's better because you have the cold weather clays, and then you have hot weather clays, and then you have the in between. You know, you got the best of all 3 worlds.
Shit.
Well, I got to touch and feel and see something picking up tires for Cody and Chad Phillips today that I think are going to be burners out there that are designed by yours truly.
By yours truly, you got that right.
Yep.
On my cell phone.
God almighty.
Yeah, so I think they're going to be bringing the heat.
I'm looking forward to it.
And, I'm looking forward to seeing you.
I damn sure think they're going to be good. I think they're going to be really good for these main events that I'm kind of never really had a tire for the last four years. So I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to seeing the People's Champion fucking rip, dog.
Yeah, man. Cole, let's fucking take this thing, man.
Cheers to Cole fucking Ogden, my homeboy. I'm there. If I know you're working, but if you ain't fucking partying with me, you might be fired. I'm just saying.
Oh, I'll definitely be burning it down, but I just gotta, I gotta get to that level and just call it a night.
Who's winning the cornhole competition this year?
Shit, I mean, if you bring those damn busted up ass damn boards again, I don't know who's gonna win.
Those are race time boards. I'll bring the Beach RC boards. They solid.
I gotta put these all away before I get in trouble.
Jesus
no, they weren't your boards.
No, my boards are good.
What did Chase say?
Oh, he's emptying like 7 or 8 Coors Light cans from the last hour and a half.
They just don't need to be on the table. Once they're in the trash can, you don't know they're dead on date.
Hey, Chase, on the count of 3, we're gonna all cheers. All right.
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Cheers, boys.
Cheers, Cole fucking Ogden.
Cheers. Cheers, homies.
All right, Cole. We gotta go, brother. We got other people that are trying to get in. We love you, brother. I'll see you tomorrow.
I'm sure y'all are just loaded with people, but I'll see you. Well, you get there tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow afternoon. I'll be there probably around 6, 7 o'clock tomorrow night.
All right. Good luck, man. Hug all the West Coast boys for me.
Yeah, brother. See you tomorrow.
Thanks, buddy. We'll talk to y'all. Y'all be good.
Bro, we had the fucking People's Champ on the phone. We had Jason Snyder on the phone.
We can just shut this thing down now. I think,
but I don't want to, dude. We're gonna extend this thing 15 minutes tonight because Jason went a little long, and I'm so glad he did because the information that he was throwing out was fucking golden.
You 100% got to get him out there for a podcast because I mean,
he's on my list. I have a list of about 50 people.
I mean, carry a conversation.
Yes, he's going to be great, and I will get him out here. I'm working on a couple people right now. He's going to be one of the next after that.
I'm worried about John. We haven't heard from him tonight.
Oh no!
Hey, Asian Hobo said, "Don't forget donation for our new intro video." He is right. Facebook, or not Facebook, but YouTube took a little bit of our money because that's what they do. They're in the business of making trillions, and they took some of our tens. So
what they did was they took more than half of what people donated.
Not more than half, right around half. And
right around half,
sucks.
yeah.
And maybe we need to do a GoFundMe instead of that. But they take money too. Jesus, we are fucked, dude. So we appreciate every donation, and it's going towards our intro. It's almost we had our boy earlier, Chad. He fucking laid down 100 to start the show.
Yes.
And that
Chad
really
rules.
helped because now we're really close. We're probably about 75 to 100 bucks away from paying for this thing. So feel free. You're not obligated, but we appreciate every bit of every dollar that comes in. And Kyle Neary, I'm going to see him this weekend and I'm going to bust his ass. I'm going to fucking get all over him. Where is the live intro? We need this live intro. You're slacking. You're practicing RC, like you're doing shit you don't need to do, like where's our intro? That's the most important thing on your docket right this second. Intro.
Yeah, I talked to Kyle today and I was like, dude, is this thing ready or what? And he's like, yeah, it's about halfway done. He got some done. He got some done on the plane. He's been on a lot of planes apparently lately. So he's been working on them there. And he says he's about halfway through. So hopefully we can expect it for the next show. That gives him 2 weeks. And hopefully he can, hopefully he takes Afterpay or some payments, installments.
We're going to have to hit him with the affirm when we're done with this. But we got some live callers. We're going to extend this show 15 minutes. So we got about 2 callers left in us tonight. I got to get up early tomorrow. I ain't gonna lie, Chase. I got to get up early. I bought a bunch of warehouse racks because we're growing. So I bought a bunch of warehouse racks out of our local Bed Bath and Beyond, which is better known as Home Depot. They were selling all their warehouse racking, and I bought a bunch of it, and we got most of it today. We got to go in first thing in the morning, and then I got a lot of things to do to get the trailer hooked up, and we're behind. But that being said, man, I could go till 1 o'clock in the morning doing this shit.
Yeah, me too. I definitely could.
No, you couldn't, because 1 o'clock is really only like 10 your time.
Yeah, it's only 8 o'clock here right now, so we're definitely not pushing the limits. So, maybe we should bump this thing ahead an hour, like we said, and maybe extend the show an hour. Who knows?
So you're saying go to 8 o'clock Eastern, but go 3 hours instead of 2.
We could do that.
If you're listening, we need to hear from you. We want to know if that's something that you want, because if you don't, we'll keep it 2 hours. We'll keep it at 9. We can move it to 8 and only do 2 hours, whatever. That's East Coast time.
Right around 2 hours. We're at about an 8 or 9 beer show right now. I think if we went 3 hours, it could really get dicey.
I'm definitely about out of beer. So you better call quick before I end this thing, people. We are at our 2 hour mark. For whatever reason,
we can also look at the comments while we're taking while we're waiting on a caller. I'm bummed. This is the first show that John from Arizona. I hope he's all right. You know?
I as well hope he's all right. I just don't understand him too much. I don't know him to the point of like, all I know is he calls us and we don't know what to expect.
No. I think I hear
that.
DJ Rick Rob talking to a caller.
I'm going
the
back.
The problem is I feel like my hands are tied because
going back to the neons.
Yeah, but you're gonna keep the hat.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I feel like my hands are tied because I don't know who this guy is. I can't call him to see if he's okay.
What's weird is nobody knows.
Maybe he finally got abducted by aliens. And
people need to understand. We really don't know who he is. Like Chase doesn't know. I don't know. I've talked to Robert. He doesn't know. Like whoever it is, and we've got the number. I researched the number. I think it's freaking what do they call those things? Like a burner phone.
Yeah. Man,
because
this guy knows what he's doing.
It just tells us where it's from, and it is from Arizona. That's it. That's all we know.
We do have a caller.
We have a caller.
All right. Put him through.
Andrew Bishop.
What's up, Andrew? Man? ¿Qué pasa, amigo?
Just want to say, love what you guys are doing. First off, I wanted to throw a little input on what Jason was saying earlier. So, as far as the track influence, I think that plays much more of a role than a lot of these companies realize. I don't know. I mean, I feel a lot of the time the pros are really the guys that are selling kits to the local fast guys. You know, I feel like your average Joe isn't going out saying, oh, you know, what's a guy like Fend or even Mayfield running? It's more they're going to their local guys and they're saying, hey, what works with this track? Hey, what's fast? And, you know, I think that provides so much more value than anything you can really see from a company standpoint. But
yeah, for sure. And I think Jason's point of view on that is even though Cav might have been doing that for his company, if the local shops and the tracks aren't carrying his tires, it's not helping him at all. So
Yeah.
what he needs
I can actually
is
touch on that. Go ahead. Sorry.
More bandwidth with the tracks and whatnot. So, you know, one thing he could be proactively doing, you know, knowing whatever drivers he are at is contacting the tracks and the local shops near wherever his drivers are, and trying to get dealer inquiries with that to make sure that happens.
And that's and to Jason's credit, and I do the same thing when we deal with Assault when people ask us about sponsoring a race or something like that. Excuse me. If they don't sell our product, we think twice about sending them free product to give away at a race. And Jason is a prime example of that for Masters of Dirt. We don't sell raw speed right now. And it's kind of like what comes first, the chicken or the egg. And we've tossed around the idea of carrying it, and it's everything's so convoluted. I'm not trying to explain the industry right now, but I agree with that 100%. It's hard to sponsor people when there's already not somebody selling the product in that area, but you need a sponsored driver sometimes to help get that relationship started. That's part of the business, and it's not the easy part by any means.
I was also going to bring up another thing as well with the whole stock argument, because I'm actually from a stock background. So I'll kind of throw the question back at you guys. So as far as stock goes, what do you really think the tipping point was for where stock was always deemed as a stepping stone? Because I feel like, for me personally, I feel stock is bigger in the industry than what mod is nowadays. I mean, mod at the pro level, I think it's pretty large. But I think stock is really where it's at as far as, you know, your local or sub guys, because, I mean, I'm from the Northeast. I've got a pretty, I would say, small size of drivers that I'm basing this off of. But there's been multiple tracks where I'll travel to. And, you know, there's been, I don't know, 3-4 racers in the mod class, but we've had 30-40 guys in the mod class.
Yeah, I think brushless and lipo killed stock, to be honest with you, because there's no clear difference in the speed there. You know, you could be a fast stock guy that could go win a local club or series race against mod guys. You know, I've personally been in the mix at local series races. I've seen Brent do it, run a 13.5 four-wheel drive car and win, or I don't remember if he won or not, but definitely in the mix with the mod guys. You can run the same lap times with a stock car that you can with a mod car if you have the talent. So when brushless and lipo happened and everything got fast, I think that's what killed the stock and mod. You know, the line was drawn right there. There's no differentiator in the speed. You know, for there to be a class.
My turn. Shut up.
For fuck's sake. Okay.
I'm sorry.
This show's been just fuck Chase the whole time.
Oh my gosh, he's getting angry, people.
That's okay.
We're finally getting to him. Suck him in the gut.
Go for it. Let me hear what you got to say.
Stock is a different style of driving. It is 100% different. You cannot drive a stock car the way you can drive a mod car. So it is differentiated by the style. It's not differentiated by the power. You have just enough power to make the same jumps most of the time that you can make with a mod car. You just can't make it with the ease of a mod car. Like you can't make a triple by just like gassing up at the face of the triple and making it. So you have to plan and carry momentum in stock. And that's what changes the whole dynamic. And I personally am a stock racer. The way that you have to run stock I'm much better at running a stock car at that power level than I am a mod car. And that could be too much throttle, too much, just not having patience. There's a lot of different things, but it's definitely a different style of racing. And anybody can battle me on that. But I guarantee you, if you drove mod and then you drove a stock car the way you drive a mod car, you might do good for a minute or two, but you will not make a 4 or 5 minute race the way that a stock racer can make a 5-minute race. I know that for a fact because I've worked that. That's my jam. I love stock race. I'm not the greatest. I'm a B main at best at a national event, but all I'm saying is it's a totally different way you drive the car to make it go fast.
But see, I feel a lot of the time, like, I feel a lot of stock drivers are underrated. And I'm, once again, basing this off of personal experience. We actually had a NCTS turf race up in the Northeast. And it was one of those years, like, people kept pretty much busting my balls. They're like, come on, you got to run mod, got to run mod. And I'm like, guys, mod really isn't that hard. Like, I don't think it's that hard to do. So I was like, you know what, just for a point, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to practice mod for a few weeks. I practiced mod for, I want to say, like 2-3 weeks before the NCTS event came up. And I was in the main battling guys with Dustin Evans and Lee Tetzer, pretty much battling for position right in the A main. And for me, I'm like, it's really not that hard of a transition. If you know what you're doing as far as setup goes and are a decent driver, I would say, like, it's not as hard as people make it out to me. And I feel that there's this whole disconnect where stock drivers cannot compete at this high level. And I highly disagree. I think some of the top stock drivers can easily get it done. We've got multiple different drivers nowadays that have moved up to these top classes, and they literally are in the A mains within weeks at some of these big races,
And that's why I feel it's a stepping stone.
Should it be a stepping stone? Yes. Is it?
It still is. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think for top pros, yes. You if you're a top pro traveling every weekend to go to races, you should be running mod.
Yeah. If you want to, in my opinion, and that's all it is an opinion. If you want to get sponsored, if you want to get paid, if you want to go to the next level, it's mod. Nitro,
Yep.
nitro. That's it. You run pro. If you want to get to that level, that's what it is. Stock and mod and 10 scale is totally two different things. You can spend way more money in stock than mod. However, it's a totally different driving style. Argument over. Moving on. Thank you very much for your call, my man, Mr. Bishop. We're going
to go get some other people.
The guy with the silly hat has spoken, and I guess his word is bond.
But I still love you for calling it. And thank you for listening, bro.
Thanks, Andrew.
Have a good night.
Have a good one, bud.
Bitchin'.
We're in our segment of Last Caller, Robert, Mr. DJ Bronze League. Next caller is your last caller. I'm gonna take
another leak.
Really? We're literally at like 5-10 minutes left.
Okay.
I want you to hold it. I want you to suffer.
No, because you're gonna see me doing this. I'm gonna be moving around.
But I'm doing it too, bro. Like, you gotta understand.
But give me 15 seconds, man.
Oh my God, he's leaving. 3 pee breaks for Chase. I want everyone to be known. It's 3 pee breaks for Chase and 2 for Brent. All right, so let's see. Chase, 6.5 two-wheel drive in the drift for the win. Maybe. I don't know. James Poirier, fuck, great, man. Thank you. Yeah, that's what you need to be doing. Send them to your local shops. We need local tracks and shops to thrive. That's what we need. Sea Otter Steels Racers, Racecraft Command Module, Wiki Weekend. Well, if Sea Otter's named Brent Densford, then yeah, it's probably going to happen. Tim Barth, racers don't pay bills because everyone has a sponsor. Bashers pay the bills. Well, you're right. However, the discount is made to just enough that most of the time manufacturers still make a little bit of money, or it's like dealer costs, if I had to guess, for most people. And so they're still making a margin, but just not the margin they should possibly make because they are doing, they work hard and they deserve to make money. So it's totally different either way. Let's see what else we got. 110 tracks also used to be built for mod. Built so a mod could hit all the fast lines around the track, but stock could not. Okay, so Chase Lyman says 110 tracks also used to be built so mod could hit all the lines and stock could not. But because today's stock can be so fast, they can pretty close to the same lap times. Okay, I know for a fact the way we build the Masters of Dirt track for Beach RC in October, there is at least one section that if you don't hit it perfect or you can't hit it every time, that a stock can't do it. So we'll make it to where a stock might fade and they have to go from a triple to a double single, or a section that a stock won't prevail over a mod. We do that on purpose. Yes, maybe some people are vanilla and just make some lame track setups, and then there's people that try to and then go too far and make it like crazy. But you got to play to your audience, and all I know is what we do here and where I go to. And Masters of Dirt, you might be close on lap times by like a half a second stock to mod, but to hit that half a second every single lap, good for you if you can do it. I don't think many people can.
I think instead of triples on 10 scale tracks that stock cars can't do after a while, we should do quads, because going double single is lame.
Well, triple single's the same thing.
No, you double.
Oh, that's true. It's a good point. I take it. Well, Chase, we've gone an extra 15 minutes and nobody wants to oblige us with their company. So
that's fine. This was a good show.
It was very good. And I really appreciate everyone that stuck around, who listened, who watched, who shared. I really appreciate Cole Ogden, Jason Snyder, our last
commenters,
all the joiners. Bishop. Yeah, all the commenters, all the joiners. Thank you guys for getting involved. We appreciate everybody's help. I'm bummed that John from Arizona took a week off, but hey,
maybe he'll get zoomed back from the spaceship, and he'll have a lot to say next time.
It's possible. And for all the people that I'm going to see at Wicked Weekend, I'm leaving here tomorrow. We'll be there tomorrow afternoon, evening, and we're going to party. Beach RC throws it down on Friday night, and I'm going to beat a lot of people that don't think that I'm going to beat them this weekend. I feel really good about it. So y'all better have your fucking A game. And Chase, are you racing this weekend anywhere?
Dude, I think I'm going to take the weekend off. I've been pretty busy, and I think I'm just going to get some honeydews done, clean up the house, just kind of hang out this weekend.
That's what I did last weekend.
So, yeah, that's my plan for this weekend. It'll probably change, Friday night.
Yeah.
But, yeah, thanks to everybody. Good luck to everybody at Wicked Weekend. Hope you all have fun. Hope you all just have a great time out there. I wish I was there.
We wish you were going to be there. Thank you, Robert. Chase.
Thanks everybody for giving us an excuse to drink too much on a Tuesday.
Fuck yeah. May the Schwartz be with you.
Good night.